From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are following at this hour. Thousands marched down downtown Pittsburgh in celebration of Pride. Liberty Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh transformed into every color of the rainbow as the Pride Parade stepped off at noon on Sunday. One Pride attendee, Erin Robinson, said it was her first time at Pittsburgh Pride. She met her support system in State College, which she said changed her life. The biggest thing the LGBTQ community does is we help give each other resources, said Robinson. Pride marched across the Andy Warhol Bridge into Allegheny Commons Park, where 300 vendors were there to pitch in to the celebration. Organizers say Pittsburgh Pride represents resilience after many corporate sponsors pulled out amid the current political climate. The community said they are sticking together to uplift one another. In other Pride Month news, in Scranton, officials raised the rainbow flag on the grounds of City Hall to mark the start of Pride Month. The city has been holding this ceremony since 2018. They consider it a symbolic show of support and inclusion and to demonstrate the Electric City's commitment to the LGBTQ plus community. The fundraising and social media chair for Queer Northeast PA, Lindsay Smeagol, reportedly said, "We've always had support from the city and its members, and we're happy to see that continue, as well as our community members coming out every year to celebrate the first day of Pride." Frank Carey, performing as Lady Lydia, explained, "I think it's more important than ever to show solidarity and equality amongst everybody, and it's really nice to have the city of Scranton support, continued support on that." The Pride flag will remain on display throughout the month at Scranton City Hall. LGBTQ Nation is reporting that a teenage trans athlete is fleeing the country with her mother after experiencing severe bullying and harassment by right-wing media, fellow athletes, and politicians. 11th grader Ada Gallagher currently runs on the girls' track team at Portland, Oregon's McDaniel High School. She became part of the national debate over trans athletes in 2023 when she won the state championship in the 200-meter race. A report from that time said the crowd met her victory with a chorus of boos, a sentiment that quickly spread across the country as the anti-trans right got its hands on the story. Gallagher, who now competes with a security guard by her side, has endured years of death threats and vile insults, and she has also been a focal point of conservative media outlets. Most recently, a video of Gallagher winning a March 19th 400-meter race in a landslide was shared widely among conservatives. She also won the 200-meter race at the same event. Prominent anti-trans activist Riley Gaines, who has built an entire career off of tying for the fifth place position with a trans athlete 3 years ago, shared the video on X and misgendered Gallagher, writing, "Does he have no shame? Do his parents have no shame? Riley, do you have any shame? Why don't you just sit down and be quiet, okay? You came in fifth, all right? The best you could have hoped for was tying for fourth. Lord knows you didn't win any other races in that particular swim meet, so why are you complaining still? Okay, your best days are behind you." Gallagher's mother, Carolyn, was not able to celebrate her daughter's win like any mother should, as she knew the hate it would bring. She told Oregon Live she thought, "I know the optics of this are going to be horrible." She wished people understood that the meet consisted of a total of 3 schools and that neither of the other 2 had strong competitors in the race Gallagher won so easily. She also wished people knew that despite what Fox News claimed, Gallagher did not set a season record in the 400-meter race and actually ran a massive 5 seconds slower than she did in the same event at state the previous year, where she got second place. For as long as she could, Gallagher tried to rise above it all to keep her head in the game and just do what she loves, run. But it has finally become too much. "When they call me a predator, that's the worst one. I hate it so much," Gallagher told Oregon Live. Gallagher and her mother hope all the noise will quiet down once they leave for Canada, where Carolyn was born and raised, even though Gallagher is devastated to leave her team, her friends, and especially her girlfriend. As Oregon Live states, Gallagher joined the track team last spring not because she believed she would win not out of some desire to manipulate the system and compete where she could win, but because her friends urged her to, because they wanted her there. That's the news at this hour. One final note, we want to send our thanks to Governor Josh Shapiro. He sent a proclamation to the Pennsylvania Equality Project in recognition of our commitment to honoring the passage of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924. You see, on June 2nd, President Calvin Coolidge signed the bill into law that declared all Indigenous people living in the United States are automatically citizens. And it would take another half century of advocacy and dedication and fighting before Indigenous people had their voting rights secured in all 50 states. It is imperative that we remember and honor the sacrifices of the Indigenous tribes who walked this ground long before we did. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.